Third one, understand this is a long game. Entrepreneurship is a long game. It is not a 100-meter sprint that you come and you run within 10 seconds and then you get your gold medal. No, this is a marathon. So you will have to make sure that you have the energy to withstand probably 5 years or 10 years. When I started my venture, I decided, Santosh, you need to give yourself 10 years to prove that something is worth it. You cannot expect results within the first 6 months or first 1 year. So you have to make sure, understand that this is a long game and this is a marathon, and you have to make sure that you stay in for the long run. Point number 4, okay, you need to earn 3 currencies. Santosh, what is this? So you're saying something different. What are the 3 currencies? No. We all think there's only one currency called the financial currency, but for you to become an entrepreneur, you need 3 currencies. One is the financial currency, the rupiah or the dollar, whatever it is. Second is intellectual currency. You also have to go and learn how to do things. If you want to get into if you want to run a software business, you have to learn coding. You have to understand project management. You have to read a lot of books, maybe attend a lot of courses, maybe watch a lot of content in YouTube to understand. So you have to learn, you have to become intellectually powerful. That's your intellectual currency. Third currency is your emotional currency, right? You also have to understand that you will go through a lot of setbacks. A lot of people will reject your offer. A lot of people will not invest in you. A lot of people will not give business to you, right? You need to also earn this emotional currency, right? So when people put you down, you also have to be emotionally stable. So these are the 3 currencies that you will need. If any of one of those currencies comes down, right, you are in for trouble. Imagine these currencies are like 3 wheels of your auto. Right? You have an auto rickshaw and there are 3 wheels. Remember, you move one wheel, what will happen? You cannot move forward. You will be just rotating in the same place, right? So without financial currency, whatever intellectual currency you have, emotional currency you have, you will not be able to take your business. Without intellectual currency, without knowing, just imagine somebody gives you all the money you want, but you don't know how to run your company. Again, you will not be able to go forward. Imagine you have the money, imagine you have all the intellectual currency, but you're not emotionally stable enough. Again, you will not be able to go forward in your company. So remember these 3 currencies. You also have to make sure that there is enough in your tank. You have to have all of these 3 currencies enough in your reserve for you to go ahead. You may not need all the money in the world, but at least to survive for the next 6 months, at least to survive for the next 1 year. You need to know what are you going to do for the next 1 year. What are the skill sets for you to? If you're bad at sales, probably you have to go become good at sales. If you're bad at marketing, probably you have to go learn marketing. So these are the 3 currencies that you will need for you to take your startup forward. 5th one, this concept is called jump the curve. So there are 2 things. Either you can do a startup or you can do a business. A lot of people think every startup is a business and every business is a startup. They are not. So what is the difference between startups and business? Businesses are well-proven business models. For example, you run a manufacturing company. You exactly know where to buy your raw material, how to convert your raw material into a product. Let's assume you make a pen, right? You need to buy certain raw materials, you put it into a machine, it will throw a pen out to you, right? So that's called a business where you can always go and hire a consultant and they will tell you exactly what all you need to run a business. So these are very proven strategies. On the other side, you have startups. What is a startup? Startup is an unproven, untested business model. So they don't have precedents before it. Like for example, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. There was no previous WhatsApp. There was nothing before something like WhatsApp for the WhatsApp founders to look at something and follow it. So startups are very risky. Startups are unproven, untested business models. So if you're going to start a startup, then you will have to understand. You should have the ability to predict the future, right? For example, now the watch market. The watch market is being taken over by the electronic companies, right? Just imagine 10 years back, who was leading the race? right? All the regular companies like Fossil, Titan, all of these companies were the top watch sellers. Today, the top watch sellers are Xiaomi, Apple, all the electronic companies. They've come inside and they've taken the market because they were able to predict the future. So if you want to start a startup, you have to build your startup for the next curve. You have to think, how would business be in the next curve? I'll give you a better example for you to understand. Let's take the example of news channels. I would take something in Tamil Nadu. So we have Tandi News Channel. So Tandi News Channel was, they also have a Tandi newspaper. They have been in business for close to probably 100 years. So ideally, which company should have become the first news channel in Tamil Nadu? It should be Tandi News Channel. But they only started 7-8 years back. 25-26 years back, Sun News came out as the first news channel because Tandi TV lost the race. They did not think about the future. They did not think how would consumers consume news in the next curve, right? So they were so focused on making the cost of paper lesser. They were focused on making the cost of ink lesser, but they forgot to think how news would be consumed in the next curve. That is why other companies, other channels were able to come and penetrate and take the market. Point number 6, ice cube effect. What is this ice cube effect? You take 2 bowls, okay? In one bowl you have 20 ice cubes, in the other bowl there is no ice cube. It's an empty bowl. And you take one piece of ice cube, you put in the first bowl, you take another piece of ice cube in the second bowl, and what will happen? Which ice cube would melt faster? The one where there is no other ice cube to protect it. So what happens here is the single ice cube is being protected because there are 20 other ice cubes surrounding it. So this will take a longer time to melt, and this will take a shorter time to melt. So what do I say by that? You have to make sure that you hang around with people who support your dreams and goals. You cannot keep on hanging around with your negative auntie and uncle forever and expect you to do great, because they will slowly and surely poison you with their negative attitude. I'm not saying all relatives are bad. Most of my relatives supported me, most of the relatives helped me, so I'm not talking about all relatives. There could be some, I'm just taking an example. It could be your friend, your neighbor, your relative, your cousin, your colleague in your office, I do not know. So make sure you hang around with people where you're able to derive some positive energy from them, because sooner or later you will get sucked into the negative energy of your surrounding, right? You are nothing but average of the 5 people you are surrounded by. So that's point number 6. Point number 7, and the last point is that do not overthink. Don't think too much. I would quote my favorite quote is, thinking of becoming an entrepreneur is a torture, becoming one is easier. I've seen a lot of people, who are way smarter than me, way more intellectual than me, way more. They have a lot more resources to become entrepreneur, but they have not become entrepreneur because they're just simply overthinking. Right? So I would share one of my experience to give you a better example of how not to overthink. So in 2018, I did bungee jump in Singapore, and during that time, when I came across this amazing philosophy, and I'll share you the story. Is so we go there to do a bungee jump, and I'm all the way up there. I go up 17 floors, and I'm right on the ledge, standing on the ledge to make the jump. And exactly when I'm standing on there, I hit this Newtonian moment. That means, I came up with the amazing philosophy, and that philosophy was that the longer you keep thinking about doing something, the higher the chances that you will not do it. The reason is our human brains have evolved over 3 million years, out of which only 10,000 years we have done cultivation. We are in a protected environment. All through the time, the last 3 million years, right? We were out in the open, and we were open to attack by any wild animal. So the brain understands only 2 mechanisms: fight or flight. If you encounter a smaller animal than you would fight that. If the animal is bigger than you will flight. That means you will run away from that animal. So the brain is programmed to make sure that you are safe and secure. So at that point of time when I'm standing on the ledge, the brain is telling my ears, Santosh, why do you want to take this risk? Because the brain is protective, the brain is trying to save me. The brain is telling, why do you want to take this risk? Everything is fine. Why do you want to take the risk? Who am I trying to prove? What are you trying to do? You have a family, you have a business to run. Don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. So when I realized that if I'm going to stand extra few more seconds, then the brain would give me some more logical answers for me not to jump. So what I decided that, okay, whatever it is, let us jump, and I jumped from there. Right? The reason I tell this story is, there are a lot of people who are watching this episode right now, and you are also standing on the ledge in your life, and you're saying to yourself, should I become an entrepreneur or not? Should I do this project or not? Should I build this app or not? Should I do this startup or not? Should I learn this music instrument or not? Should I learn kickboxing or not? And you're standing on the ledge and you're thinking, and your brain is giving every excuse not to do it because brain wants you to be safe. So the point I'm trying to say is that if you keep on thinking too much, the chances of you doing that is very, very less. And I'll also give another example that you don't have to know everything to do something. For example, let's assume you're driving a car. Do you think you know everything what happens inside the car for you to drive a car? No, right? You just need to know enough. You just need to know how to switch your engine, how to drive, how to put your gears and whatnot, how to look at your rear view mirrors and whatnot. So you just need some basic information for you to run your car, and slowly you will learn. So don't expect yourself to know everything about business and only then you will start a business. It's not going to happen, right? If you know everything about the car, you will not drive the car, you will become a car mechanic, right? So you just need to know enough for you to start, and slowly you will learn things on the way.